What is up, y'all? It's your boy Kiwi here. Week 2 of the YCL. It's Team Tempest versus the Gothenburg Spielers. Coach Sven, you know we gotta get this W, right? We've gotta stop this where Sven is beating us every time. He's got an all Gen 9 team, so it's gonna be an interesting matchup for sure. All I'm gonna say is we got Dragapult. Now we got a few Gen 9 mons as well. Definitely look forward to picking up the Dragapult while being earlier in the snake format pick. This week we opted for special Dragapult because there's an Earthworm on the board and that shit is annoying. So hopefully we can get it out of the game early. We're Specs. Flamethrower should smoke that shit. Mid-ground Shadow Ball on a Specs Dragapult is definitely gonna hurt stab Specs. This Armor Rouge hoping to put in pain as well. Terra Fire on the Crook to deal with a potential Fairy Terra. I'm expecting Fairy or normal on the SKELEDIRGE. We're just gonna lead Dragapult, guys. I know his team logo, there's two, but I forgot to switch it and we just played the battle through. So do forgive me, but his is there above Boston Red Claws, but you can still see it. All right, just pretend Boston Red Claws ain't there. All right, good luck, have fun, Sven, and let's see if we prep the prep. I feel like Dragapult lead is obvious though. This is post com, guys, so oh yeah, this is what we like to see. I don't think he expects me to be special. I also expect him to expect me to just U-turn. He's debating, obviously. Did he click Shed Tail? I doubt it. He probably clicked Rocks, expecting U-turn. But yeah, I'm going for Demacia, bro. Trying to claim this thing early. It'd be very nice so that he can't shed. Oh, he stays in. So this thing's 100% going down. Yeah, unless he was like Akaberry, which I doubted. So he loses his Earthworm turn 1. No Shed Tail for your Chiempao, Skeledirge, and Espathra, and even Veluza with Fillet Away and Sharpness. His whole team can have setup. I mean, at least 2 of his mons are set up for sure. I don't think Veluza could be played any other way efficiently without like Fillet Away. I mean, like Sharpness, you could get like mid-tier damage with it, but I don't see it being very threatening. To me, it just seems like more Shadow Ball fodder. But hey, well, everybody plays differently. You can see if he could get it off. We're gonna hard switch, obviously. We have Armor Rouge with Fast Fire just for this moment. It seems like always a mid-ground play for somebody to Torch Song, obviously, get a +1 off. So hopefully he does, and he does. So we're gonna get this Flash Fire buff. Do I see myself clicking Armor Cannon anytime soon? Probably not. I don't think he's gonna ever switch this thing into like a stab Armor Cannon. I expected him to switch, honestly. But now that I think about it, Shadow Ball was probably always a better play. Chiempao's frail as fuck, and like Palmon as well. Even the resisted on the Chiempao Shadow Ball was still done a good chunk from Life Orb Armor Rouge. So we're actually gonna trade attacks here. He's gonna take about 60. I'm gonna take a lot more. I'm gonna take about like 70 to 80. He knows he can't hold another Psychic, so I expected him to switch into Chiempao probably. So I go for the Shadow Ball now. I should have done that from the beginning. It would have been freaking massive to hit this thing for that much damage. Seeing that it was so... Actually, with 60% damage from Psychic, you could tell he wasn't that heavily Spadef invested. Probably more so Fizdef. So that Shadow Ball would have done a real like nice chunk. He's gonna switch into Espathra into Life Orb Shadow Ball. This thing is going down. 100% is going down. So within the first like 3-4 turns, I want to say he lost 2 mons. I am so far out ahead. I'm on like a little bit of a high here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It feels pretty good to have this much control in a game where, you know, that team comp can run away with the game within 1 to 2 turns. Like realistically, like letting a Skeledirge get off 2 Torch Songs and then Terra or post Terra or something like that, it's tough. Now he brings in this thing, and I thought more along the lines he'd be Sash with Revival Blessing. So I didn't want to let him get it off for free. So I decided to stay in and hit Psychic. I felt like Armor Rouge did a good job, and I didn't want to switch anything in. You know, like he expected the Crook switching, I think. Nothing I had really wanted to switch into this thing. Maybe Dragapult. Dragapult would have been the best switch in there. We're gonna see that he's Life Orb. So at this point, neg one. Dragapult is the obvious bring in here as a revenge killer. I'm Spect. Looking at it to 4, Skelly, Chien-Pao, Veluza, and Palmot. Nothing's holding a Draco. This is a Spec Stab Draco. Something's gotta die. Again, this thing is in Sash, so it's going down. You saw the Life Orb chip. Skeledirge is sub 50. It's dying. There's no way Veluza's holding a Spec Draco. Neither is Chien-Pao. At this point, I decide maybe Chien-Pao is the Sashmon. I see more likely at this point. So there's no reason for me not to click Draco. When I look at this situation, you know, maybe Shadow Ball was the better play. I should have ran the calc on the Shadow Ball, but nothing was holding a Shadow Ball here. You know, maybe he expected the Shadow Ball, and that's why he actually switches in Chien-Pao. And this Draco should kill. 100%. Unless he's Sash, this Draco should kill. I mean, if I hit, right? I think he was thinking along the lines where he resists the Shadow Ball because it was just a safer play. I had no need to make that uber aggressive play. I could have literally just hit Flamethrower, guys. Like, literally. Flamethrower would kill Palmot, bring down Sash on Chien-Pao. It would have done like more than 20% on Skelly, and it does about like 40 to 50 on the Veluza. So, I could have. Fully defensive Azumarill here. He's going to realize, and he's going to get the F up out of there. Normal decision play here. I hit Play Rough thinking he's gonna stay in front of me. I don't know why. Like, I'm literally resisting all 3 types this thing gets access to: Fighting, Dark, and Ice. I should have liquidated. You're gonna hear me say I should have a lot, man. This is what Pokemon is. I shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? What can I say? We are up 5-4 here, and liquidation would have definitely been the better play. You know, I really wanted to be a little bit more offensive with Azumarill for this situation. You know, the thing is, honestly, I needed a good switch in to Chien-Pao. And the real problem is Chien-Pao's ability dropping defenses means that Corviknight is still getting hurt by the Ice and the Sacred Sword attack, you know? Like, everything from Chien-Pao still hurts Corviknight. It's problematic when your Fizz-Def wall can't deal with it. Maybe it would have been not ideal, but it would have been okay to toss Corv, because Corv doesn't seem like he's going to be doing much this game. He's going to Terra. What is it? Fairy, normal. Those were the 2 choices that I saw as viable. Yeah, Terra, Fairy, and probably Slack Off. He saw the Ice Shard damage. He knows that I'm more defensive, and probably checking the calcs, he knows that I'm not swinging anything hard enough with this Azumarill to actually do that much damage. And just in case, he Terra Fairy to make sure I couldn't do the same amount of damage. Now, there's a few ways that my team can actually deal with this thing. And the most efficient way was always to swing a big hit with Dragapult or Crook, and then let it go down, or one or the other go down, and bring in the next. I hyper prep for Terra Fairy, Terra normal on this thing. He brought Terra Fairy last week, and I was like, Sven is not going to be that predictable, right? He's going to expect me to expect the Fairy, so he's going to do something like normal, just to block the Shadow Balls as well. I expected a Torch Saw, and it was, so it wasn't the worst switch in. But ideally, I think Crook would have been the switch in when he slacked off. That was one of my bigger misplays of this game. I should have always just switched in when I knew the slack off was coming. I always felt like in the back of my mind that he could have been Assault Vested, because he didn't show slack off until just now. You know, Assault Vested with max HP defense, or mix with max or half defense Assault Vets. The thing is problematic. I gotta get up out of there. I don't know why. I forgot that I can't click Draco anymore, and I brought this thing in thinking I would Draco, which was not right. At this point, I'm like, yo, what does he click again? I think like he clicks the Torch Song. Because he knows I can't touch him on Dragon Ball, he might as well stack his special attack. But, you know, this was a 50-50 play at any point, you know. For him, he had the freedom to just click whatever he wanted in that situation, I think. And it's kind of tough because I switch in Crook pre-Terra, and Crook does not want to see this Fairy Terra Blast. This is probably the biggest misplay of the game. My Earthquake was always doing about like 50% in a fully defensive way, if it was fully defensive. Being able to Terra Fairy Fire later on would block the Torch Song, well, not block, but reduce the Torch Song and the Fairy damage. So I do believe I had the tools to win. You know, like if I Earthquaked and he hit anything but Earth Power, you know, I would have just Earthquaked right away again. Nothing on his team wants to hold an Earthquake truly from Crook. Like literally everything is paper thin. After the Earthworm went down, and SKELEDIRGE being in front of Crook is not an ideal situation for him. I definitely became uber tilted after that play. You know, it is what it is. Missing the Draco and then, you know, thinking that I'm going to click Draco again later on, but it's Fairy Terra. I don't, you know, like these things just started to slip my mind. I started to play poorly in the mid game. Kudos to Sven maintaining his composure and playing through for his win con, which I think is always SKELEDIRGE on his team, honestly. No, actually I take that back. He could get the Shed Tail Spothra off. He's gonna get to +2 now, I believe. And like a goofball, I'm gonna hit Curse. I'm gonna forget this thing is unaware, guys. Blunder of a game from the mid game on. What can I say? Listen, I'm human. I do consider myself a decent, if not good, draft league player, but I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna get tilted. I think part of my growth as a draft league battler or a competitive battler is to learn how to control my mental state better. And just it'll help me make better decisions in terms of the game. You know, Crook was my Terra of Evolution. It was prepped to potentially deal with this, but I threw it away, you know, and you're gonna see me suffer because I threw it away. At this point, I think I realized that the freeze is the only way because he's unaware. If he gets frozen, I could just switch into the Dragapult right away. At that point, I just have free spec Shadow Ball, which is doing like 50 to 60 on this thing. But unfortunately, after 2 Ice Pushes, I don't get it. I mean, you know, 10% chance of each one, I think. I don't think a game should be won like that, personally. Like, obviously, you don't want to win through RNG. But all I'm saying is, at this point, it seemed to be the only way. You know, what can I say? The third one comes down, no freeze, and at this point, he's just free to Terra Blast his way through the game with the Fairy typing. It's tough, man. I had such a lead out in front of him, you know, like just 2 Mons, and SKELEDIRGE chipped down to 40. But what can I say? You know, 1 or 2 misplays do throw a game. When you're playing at this level, I think, or against a person like Sven, who could definitely capitalize on 1 turn, it is very important to not let that turn happen or to lose momentum in that situation. And I did let it happen. It's okay though, it happens. We'll bounce back next week. I'm not worried about it. 1 loss isn't the end of the world, guys, you know? It happens. Realistically, the only thing I can do right now is to hit this thing with attacks and try to get a Shadow Ball off from the Dragapult later on. Do I think he will ever let that happen? No, because at any point when he gets down to about like 50 to 60%, he'll probably just slack off again. He's free to do so, you know, because at any point, even if he does get into that range, he has to kill me and let me revenge with Dragapult, or I just have to hard switch, and me hard switching makes no sense anyway, because I switch in on slack off and then he just clicks the attack after I click Shadow Ball and I die. He's gonna get to +4, I believe, with this Torch Song. Corviknight's a no chance at all, obviously. I'm also not the person to sit there and stall a timer. You know, like, if I don't see a clear win con, you know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna deny the man his differential. I hit the Shadow Ball here. Yeah, it does about 50-ish. I do get the Spadef drop. It's kind of crazy. I mean, maybe if I got a crit, he would have died. That would have been clutch. That was another potential way to win through RNG, but Terra Blast Fairy just smokes me, obviously. We're down to Azu, bulky Azu. Bulky Azu ain't doing it here, guys. It is what it is. It's tough. Tough loss. It was lost through 1 or 2 turns. You know, what can I say? Skeledirge is just that bruiser, guys, you know. I won't lie, out of the 3 Gen 9 starters, I think maybe Quaquavel's my favorite. I did pick the Fuecoco, but I haven't played Skelly competitive yet. I played versus it, but I haven't played with it. I got the crit defense drop here too, guys. You know, that's kind of crazy. The game was handing me the RNG later on. It didn't matter though. But whatchamacallit? I definitely think Meowscarada's on the bottom now, with more of a meta being developed or developing. Quaquavel, I definitely see as my number 1, just because I said like I use it. Maybe I'll use Skeledirge soon. My opinion will change, but yeah, Sven's gonna pick up the 4-0 after we were out ahead that much. Guys, check out the description, his channel down below. Like and subscribe if you're new. And this is Kiwi Team Tempest out. Peace.